everyone. Hello from Madison, Wisconsin. How is everyone this evening? Thank you for tuning in. Before we take a caller, I kind of want to go over some stuff. We've been talking for the past several weeks about my survival to soul framework and what it's like to live in the survival mode and just trying to live life according to how other people want us to live our lives versus living the lives we really want to live for ourselves, the lives our souls came here to live. So we also have, I know it's impossible to see. I'll remind everyone, you can see these on my website at ChristinaElliott.org. This is the pyramid that I refer to when I want people to live their soul-led life. And in order to do that, at the top of this one, we have liberation, freedom. This is what we really want to be in more often than not. But so many of us are on the reverse side, living in survival mode. So let's flip it around and let's start talking about how we can reclaim our own life. So we'll start climbing this little pyramid too. And in order to reclaim your life, you start releasing the conditioning and you begin choosing your soul over the programming or the conformities that you've been taught throughout your life to kind of just go with the flow, please everybody, fit in, all of that stuff we've talked about previously. Especially this time of year with the holidays upon us, everybody's a little extra stressed because things might be a little extra busy. And we just want to remember we all need to take time to care for ourselves. And self-care is really not only about getting a massage or, acupuncture, whatever it is that makes you relax and smile, but you also want to pay attention to your emotions. And if you're feeling crappy, you want to go ahead and figure out, why am I feeling crappy and what can I do to start to reclaim myself so that I can feel better today? We are ready for a caller. We have Leslie in Holly Springs, Mississippi this evening. Leslie, are you on the call?
Yes, I am, Christina. Good evening.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Wonderful. What can I do for you tonight?
Yes, I've been working at my current job as a college academic advisor for almost 4 years. That'll be 4 years this April. And I recently started applying and interviewing for advisor jobs level 2 and 3, as well as senior academic advisor jobs. And I know I'm going to have one in 2026 in that capacity. And will that happen? And in what state that I will be going to next for my next job?
Well, let's see. The first thing Spirit's telling me is I foresee you having more than one choice. I'm thinking about maybe two choices. You're going to be able to choose where you want to go, which position you want to accept. And part of that can be based on the region you want to look at. They're telling me it's most likely going to be on the East Coast, somewhere over there on the East Coast, which isn't too far away from Mississippi. It's just a little bit of a drive up. I feel, though, they're also telling me that in order for you to move up in the ranks, so to speak, as you are applying for these jobs and, sending your resume off, put yourself in the frame of mind as if you already have the job. Assume it's already yours. This is key, especially for the ones that you really want. Like if there's one in New York City that's really, speaking to you, you want to live in a much larger space. That's not saying that's an option. That's just an example. I wanted to clarify that. I don't think you're into moving into the big city, Spirit said. But really, it's about the way you feel when you're actually applying. And even when you're not applying, I don't feel like you're dwelling on things in a negative way. Would you say that's true? You don't ruminate. You don't think poorly of yourself, or in terms you don't think, oh, I'm not good enough for this role. You know you're going to get it. Do you have, Spirit's telling me that you do have a couple states that you would prefer to move to? Is this a true statement?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I feel
I
like there
believe
may
it.
be a
I
little.
believe it. Yes, I
Go
do
ahead.
believe there are three. I do believe there are three. One is Texas, North Carolina, and my home state of Ohio.
Okay. Spirit's telling me that you want Texas or somewhere warm. What was, I apologize. You said there was Texas, Ohio, and North Carolina. So
Correct.
I feel like you're not really feeling like you want to come back to Ohio. And I feel it's because of the weather. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could
Correct.
just be projecting myself there because it's cold here in Wisconsin. Um, I feel that you definitely, Spirit's saying you really have a good shot at Texas and North Carolina. I feel that there's something more positive towards the Texas position. I don't know if that is because that's your first choice or if it's because that's Spirit saying that's one that's most most like the environment that you'll want to be in terms of like the people that you'll be working with. Do you know, is Texas your first choice?
Yeah, I don't have any particular order for choice.
Okay, then I think you have a bet. Then what Spirit's saying is Texas seems to be the one that will align most with your personality in terms of the people you'll be working with.
Hmm.
But the information I give you is only as good as your free will choice because obviously you are going to be getting, I feel like you're going to be given, you're going to see other opportunities available after our conversation this evening. Keep applying to those other ones too. Don't put all of your apples in one basket, which you aren't doing. Definitely diversify. Um, Honestly, though, I feel like this is something that's going to move really fast for you after the first of the year. Um, you're going to really start having to plan for your move. Um, do you have other questions you want to ask me about it or anything else too?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, I do because we're going to be starting the spring semester at my current employer the week of January 12th, and because I really want to work around my teaching schedule, and my advising schedule to have those interviews in those times in the afternoon, and we get back the week of January 5th when we're doing our one-stop registration for returning students, and I don't want to interview during that week because I really like to prefer the first week or the second week of the semester because I'm very sensitive to that.
I feel that the responses you might be getting, I see a series of interviews. I see them happening more towards mid to late January where you start hearing some things back. So I see that you might be having some phone interviews, maybe the first couple of weeks, where you're just maybe talking to like an HR person or not the hiring manager anyway. So I feel like there's potential for maybe some of those calls the first couple of weeks of January, but I think they're kind of waiting until January to start looking at applications, to really start
Hmm.
paying attention to who they're going to start reaching out to. So I don't get it too much in your head if you're not hearing back from people, even within January. People take their time. They've got, tons of applications to go through. I definitely see you as a quality candidate, though. Like, you're probably going to have more interviews than you really care to have. It's quite possible, is what I'm saying. Um, if the positions that you wanted were in that type of availability. I feel Spirit's just saying like you're going to have your pick. They are telling me you're going to be able to choose which one you prefer, but they want you to weigh all the options too. Don't just take the one that offers you the highest salary. That might be the
Hmm.
correct one for you. Really listen to your heart. If something makes your heart feel at peace and relaxed, and if you're thinking about living there, or, and it's like, that's right. If it's light, it's right. That's what I like to say. So, um, I see both of those as valid locations for you, though. Ohio as well. I just don't think you personally are going to enjoy life outside of work as much as if you were in Ohio. But don't rule it
Yeah,
out.
and also,
Because, if
yeah.
they offer you $1 million a year, do you really care if you live in Ohio? We have a couple of
and
minutes
more,
left. What other
yes,
questions can
and
I answer for you?
yeah, 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 and well, when I get this new job, will that university, will that employer allow me to pursue a doctorate of education in higher education administration?
Yes, but I wouldn't ask about it right away. Um,
Okay.
Ask about it. You can inquire about continuing education as you're going through the interview process if it comes up.
Mhm.
But I would say wait and get a feel for how you like your team and the position and everything. Kind of settle into your new role first, and then look at moving into obtaining your doctorate for sure. I think that's a wonderful
Yeah,
path for you. Definitely. We
yeah,
have 60
yeah,
seconds left.
yeah. There'll be about about at least 6 months before I start to inquire about the doctoral program.
Okay, yep, I think that sounds good. And I will say, I can't remember if I said this or not, forgive me, but Spirit is saying that they see you moving into this new role, or hearing about the new role sometime in spring. So I see you hearing about the role early spring, and then, or even sooner than that, maybe, but I see you moving early spring and getting settled into a new role. We only have 30 seconds left, Leslie. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. I wish you all the best. If you care, feel free to reach out to me on my website, ChristinaElliott.org. I would love to know what position you accept when the time comes. I want to hear all about it. I wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for calling in again. Thank you, Spirit, for communicating with us and giving Leslie such wonderful information. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll see you next Thursday. Have a fabulous evening, everyone. Bye.